As long as you dance with the dream going in circles, you will never enter into a space of reality that will birth something real and tangible. We're gearing up for the fourth quarter. It's time to stop dancing with our dreams, make a plan, and execute. It's all about strategy and execution as we wind down the third quarter and as we thrust into the fourth quarter. I had spoke on something not that long ago called the in-between. Sometimes we feel like we are in the in-between places of our life. When we think about the word in-between, it talks about 2 points in time, right? We're here, but we are striving to go to another destination. We're striving, we're in a pursuit of something, right? And so being in a pursuit of something, that means we have to let go of something. Because sometimes we may have too much baggage and it's slowing our pace, it's slowing the momentum down. I want you to think about right now, as we're working on our strategies for our business, as we're working on creating those execution steps that we need to make, I want you to think about, what do you need to release? What do you need to let go? What do you need to free yourself from? What do you need to free your mind from? Because in order for us to go to the next place in 2024, you know, every time it gets to close to the end of the year, we're always thinking about, what are we leaving from and where we're going to? What are we going to release? And what do we need to push into? And sometimes the push is a struggle because we got too much baggage. And I had to evaluate that for my own self, my own mind. What did I need to release so I can free myself to free myself to have creative thinking, so I can produce at a level in which I need to produce? When I was reflecting on some of my old notes, it talked about separation. The word separation means the act of moving apart from something, right? Sometimes it is a hard struggle to separate from something that we have been so attached to. And we feel like it's a part of our DNA. We feel that it's a part of our very core and our very being, but sometimes it's not. It could be that very thing that's eating away at your creativity, is eating away at forward movement for where you need to go. I want to remind everybody, every time you wake up in the morning, to command your day, command your morning. Sometimes you don't feel like commanding it. Sometimes you have to speak it out of your mouth and continue to speak it, and then the actions will follow. Sometimes you're not always going to feel it, but you cannot be so tied to the emotion of that moment, because emotions are fleeting. There was something else as I was reflecting on my notes, and I came across this statement that said, you have to silence every voice that goes against the mission for your life. What voices are you entertaining? Whether it be from people, whether it be maybe things that you're reflecting on that has nothing to do with your present, and certainly has nothing to do with where you're going. Sometimes we have to enter into a place in our life where we're ready for change. We have to want the change, and then we have to act on it. I came across some of my old notes as I was saying, and some of the old notes was saying, how do we change our life? And it was 4 points. We must first identify why you want to change your life. We have to understand the root core of why. What is your why? You know, I know that's something we always heard from any motivational speaker. What is your why? But it's so profound, because sometimes we're moving in absence of the why. Therefore, we're just going in circles. That opening quote that I read, we're just going in circles because we don't know what the why is. What we're doing is not attached to anything. It's not attached to purpose. So we're just running, we're running, and we're running out of fume a lot of times because there's nothing to fuel us, because it's not attached to the why. Point 2. Identify things that may hold you back. And this is something I had to do. We all have to do it. And I don't think this is just a one-time thing that we have to do. This is an ongoing thing. Weekly, monthly, quarterly. Sit back and evaluate what's working for you, what's not working for you. Sometimes we don't move forward because we stay stuck too long. We stay stuck. It was something I wrote in one of my books, and A Journey Back to Me specifically, and I put in there, and I talked about loyalty traps. Sometimes we're loyal to a default. We're loyal to something that's not loyal to us. We're loyal to people, to situations, to old ideologies that's no longer serving us, and it's holding us back. And leaving and separating, breaking free from that thing which we've been in for so long is hard. But you got to make a conscious decision in this third quarter as we inch into the fourth quarter. before we get into next year. You ain't got to wait for January 1st for it to be your new year. That's something I've heard too. It's the truth. You don't have to wait for January 1. You can have your January 1st today when you make a decision. It's nothing magical about the January 1. The magic happens when you shift in your mind and then you go to work, then you go to action. That is your January 1st. You can have January 1st is all year long. It don't have to be just a particular point in time. You have to make a conscious decision when you want to make a change. Point 3. Set a SMART goal. Now we know we see a lot of things online, SMART goals. What is that? Is it real? Does it make sense? Is it measurable? Sometimes we're setting up goals that's larger than life and there's no strategy to even manifest it. We're just talking things. Now, anybody know me know I'm big on minding your words, manifesting your words, and speaking those things that be not as though they are. But we also have to make sure we got a strategy for execution. Because we can speak all day long. We can daydream all day long. But if we don't have the goals coupled with action, it's just going to be in la-la land. It's just going to be in osmosis and never turn into a point of reality. Point 4, prepare for the storms. Storms are going to come. That's just going to happen. Us as leaders, sometimes it's going to come like a boomerang and we don't know where it came from. But anytime those storms come, sometimes out of osmosis, sometimes when you wasn't even anticipating it, that is your time to buckle down, pause, breathe, reflect, and then deal with whatever that situation is. Sometimes situations come to knock you off your course, to knock you off your game, to rattle you. And so we as leaders, we as entrepreneurs can't allow those storms to knock us off course to the point we lose our focus as to where we're going. Don't allow the storms, because they're coming. Storms are always going to come. Every new level you go to is going to be some type of new storm, some type of new test. But those tests are preparing you for every next level that you're going to go to. And I'm going to round this whole little quick talk back to the very first quote that I opened up with. As long as you dance with the dream, going in circles, you will never enter into a space of reality that will birth something real and tangible. It's time for us to stop dancing with our dreams, put a strategy in place, and execute it. This is your season, this is your moment, this is your hour, this is your time to go all in. I speak life over your business, I speak life over your family, I speak life over anything your hands touch. That this time that you move out, it will be successful. But understand when you move out and you've got your mind fixed on the why, even when a storm comes, that doesn't mean that you're not on the right path. You're just being tested. You're being strengthened. More wisdom is being poured into you. And once you conquer whatever that is that's going to come in your place, come in your space, to try to knock you off, to try to railroad you, you're going to be able to stand and say, not this time. Because I connect to my purpose. I connect to my why. And I know who I am. And I'm not going to allow anything, not even my own mindset, to stop me. So I speak life over you, peace and blessings, and I'm going to see you at the top.